Lesson 1-6, Ordered Pairs and Relations. We have two objectives in this lesson. One, use ordered pairs to locate points. The other is use tables and graphs to represent relations. In order to understand this, we need some key terms. The first one is coordinate system or coordinate plane. Coordinate system or coordinate plane is used to locate points. As you can see here is an example right here of a coordinate system. On this coordinate system you can see the y-axis and the x-axis. The y-axis is the vertical line, or up or down. So we're talking about up or down for the vertical. The x-axis is the horizontal line, and that is from left to right. So here we go on our coordinate plane. You see the horizontal, you see the vertical, and they're labeled y and x clearly. Another part of the coordinate system, or coordinate plane, that you should know is that where the x and y meet or cross, that the point is called the origin, or 0, 0. You can see it clearly right here. That is the origin. The information we gather from the coordinate system of coordinate planes is called ordered pairs. Numbers used to locate any point on a coordinate plane. You can see right here is an example of an ordered pair. We use parentheses and a comma to separate the x-coordinate, which is the first number, and the y-coordinate, which is the second. So once again, an ordered pair is written right here with parentheses and a comma to separate the x-coordinate, or the horizontal number, and the y-coordinate is the vertical number. On this slide you see graph. Draw a dot at the point that corresponds to the ordered pair. Alright, we can gather ordered pairs from this list here or this table here. Doesn't matter which one we use. We usually go in order from first to last, and we can see here our first ordered pair is 1 and 2. So that means our x-coordinate is 1 and our y-coordinate is 2, and where they intersect is where we put the blue dot. We do this for all of them, from x is 2 and y is 4, and you can see where we got this dot from. Our next one is x is 3 and y is 0. This is where we get that dot from. And then the last one, we have x is 4 and y is 5, and we place that intersection with the blue dot. When we have a set of ordered pairs or a table, we have a relation. So right here we have a relation, an example of a relation, whether it's ordered pairs or in a table. So somehow this graph represents a relation. Each x is called the domain. So it's the set of x-coordinates in a relationship is called our domain. So in the above table or ordered pairs, all our x's would be our domain. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Since it's a set, we'll use our fancy brackets, our mustaches. If you can't write them, do your best. The range, which is the opposite of domain, is the y-coordinates in a relation. So reading our ordered pairs or table, we list our y's. 2, 4, 0, and 5, and since it's a set, we put them in fancy brackets or mustaches. In this slide, we see that it says graph each ordered pair on a coordinate system. Once again, we have our coordinate system right here. I notice that my x's go from 0 to 6 right here, and then my y's go from 0 to 6 up here. So very good. So now ordered pairs go in this relationship, x and y. So I am going to now look for 4 on my x-coordinate, which is here. And then I look for 1 on my y-coordinate, which is here. And I find out where they intersect. They intersect right here. And to label this, I will use the label A. So this is A. Let's try B. B states that the x is 3, right about here, but my y is 0, so I don't even go up. I stay on the x-axis right here. I don't go anywhere. We'll label that B. In this slide, it states, write the ordered pair that names each point. So what we have is a coordinate system right here. We have a series of letters on the coordinate plane, and we have to find out what their ordered pair is. We know that an ordered pair is a set of parentheses with a comma to separate the x and the y. So let's do A first. It says, what is the ordered pair for M? Well, this is what we do. We start at the origin, which is 0, and we count how many spots over on the horizontal line, or the x-axis. I notice that it is 2. So I move 2 to the right, that means positive 2. Next up, I have to account for the y-axis, or up or down, or the vertical axis. We start at 0, or the origin, and you can notice that the blue line, when we count, goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since we went up 5, our y is positive 5. We're going to do that for the next two letters, B and C. Alright, B says we need to know what the coordinates for N are. Starting at the origin again, I notice that I go over 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. So the x is 4. And then I rise, or I go on the vertical axis, y-axis. I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And my y is 4. So the ordered pair for N is 4 and 4. Last but not least, C says find the ordered pair for P. So for P, I start at the origin, and I count from the origin to where P is on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I went to the right 7 spaces. I notice that P does not rise above 0. It stays on the x-axis, so that's a good clue that y is 0. Now on this slide, it states that we should express the relation, and this is the relation. It's a set of ordered pairs right here as a table and as a graph. Then determine the domain and range. The first thing I want to do is make that table. So I'm just going to translate my set of ordered pairs into a table by writing the first ordered pair, 0, and then the y is 0. And then I continue to the next ordered pair, 2, 1, 1, and 3. And the last one, 5 and 2. Next I'm supposed to make a graph, our graph, and obviously I'm going to be using this coordinate system. Our first order pair was 0, 0, which is also known as the origin. So that means where the x and y axis intersect, the origin, right there. So I put a nice dot right there. Go to the next order pair. It tells me to start at the origin and work my way to the right 2 spaces. And that tells me where the x is. And then the y is 1 space up. Notice where they intersect. I put my dot. Next up is 1 and 3, so that means I start at the origin, I go find the x-axis, move over 1 to the right, then I find the y-axis and I move up 3, 1, 2, 3. That's my third dot. And I have one more where x is 5, so along the x-axis I start at the 0, or the origin, move to the right 5 spaces, find 5. Then I go up 2 up the vertical axis, and I place the dot where the 2 and the 5 intersect, and there we go. Our last bit of work is to determine the domain. According to the definition, the domain is a set of x coordinates, and we can get that information from above in our ordered pairs or from the table below. First one's 0, second one is 2, next one is 1, the last one is 5. And that's how we write the domain using the fancy brackets. Next up is range. Range is just the opposite of domain. So that means that we're doing the set of y coordinates. And the first one is 0, next one is 1, then 3, then 2. And we're using the fancy brackets to state that this is a set of numbers. Let's take what we've learned in the previous slides and put it into a small real-world problem. The species of bamboo can grow 3 feet in 1 day. All right, what do they want us to do with that information? First, they want us to make a table of ordered pairs in which the x-coordinate represents the number of days and the y-coordinate represents the amount of growth for 1, 2, 3, and 4 days. So in this problem, we know x is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 because we're going to be measuring for the first day through the 4th day. With the information given us in the first sentence, I know that the first day is the bamboo should be 3 feet. Second day, I'm going to assume that we're going to add another 3 feet, so that makes it 6. The third day, we're going to add another 3 feet, that will make that 9. And the last day, the 4th day, adding 3 more feet to the 9 gives us 12. Next, we're going to have to graph the ordered pairs, but before we do that, we have to tell the people reading the graph what the x-axis means. And we were told that the x represents the number of days. And then the y-coordinate, or the y-axis, is growth. And that's in feet. So when you make your graph, you're going to have to label the x-axis and the y-axis so people reading it know what you are talking about. All right, we're going to take the table and we're going to use the first ordered pair, and it says 1 day grows 3 feet. Second day grows 6 feet. Third day grows 9, and the final day of the 4th day is 12. So we've taken what we've learned, put it in a real world problem. We observed bamboo grow, and we made a table. We made a graph. We labeled the x and y axis, and then we plotted the points on the graph.